Terminator Dark Fate, the last film from the Terminator series, published or released in 2019. It's a story completely rewritten again, about humanity fighting with the machines. But here we have a major plot twist at the beginning. So if you didn't watch this film and you didn't want to hear about spoilers, maybe you shouldn't watch this, or skip to the other parts, because here at the beginning we have the information, and we have also the scene when John Connor, future leader of the resistance, is killed by the Terminator. And the whole story is about a different leader, and this leader will be a teenage girl, Latina. And unfortunately, this plot twist completely ruined everything in Terminator franchise, because, for example, Terminator Dark Fate, this Terminator, the latest Terminator, is at the same level of badness, at the same level of being weak movie as Terminator Dark Fate, and before that was Terminator Genisys. And all these movies are bad in their own way, but Terminator Genisys completely erased, in a way, first and second Terminator. So the story was completely rewritten when Kyle Reese was sent to protect Sarah Connor. The story was completely changed. And here the story is also changed, because now John Connor is unimportant. Still, his mother lives and she's hunting Terminators. And here in this movie, we see older, 70 something years old, great actress, Sarah Hamilton, as wait a minute. Not Sarah Hamilton, Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor. So the name of the actress is Linda Hamilton. But unfortunately, the whole movie is a little bit woke, but also very, very simile, very, very lukewarm. The main antagonist, we have also the antagonist, the new Terminator Rev something, and we also have a cybernetic enhanced woman from the future, who is supposed to protect this new leader, this new teenage girl. But all of this we have seen before, and here this all this is told to us and shown us in a far worse, more infantile way. So everything is a little bit like no one cares about nothing. In first and in second Terminator, we saw that every scene was has or had a purpose, or if that purpose was to terror us, to terrify us, or even to want us to think about something, or to, let's say, create this very bombastic or very dynamic feelings. Here everything is so normal looking, almost like the AI was has created this movie. Advanced AI in our times created this movie, because special effects are only okay, but they are nothing impressive. Actor who is playing Rev, the new Terminator, is completely forgettable, completely uncharismatic, and the one positive thing about this is this enhanced woman from the future. So I think this actress is actually rather good. Critical Drinker laughed that she's androgynous, but I think that she has this unique look because she's very tall for a woman, and she has this. She's also pretty in a way, but she has also this this inner charisma that we can believe that she can be some kind of a future cybernetic enhanced woman warrior. But all of the actors, even the best ones, so Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator, because later in the movie we see that this old Terminator who killed John Connor was Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he completed his mission, and now he found his family, and he is living a normal, simple life. Uh, and we see a mother of John, because mother survived this attack. So Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor is again shown in a Terminator franchise, but all of these two rather good actors who played very well in first and in the second movie here are completely forgettable. They are completely forgettable. They are maybe a little better than the Rev actor, but still they are so uncharismatic in a number of ways. Their way of talk, their dynamic of talks, their body language, their behavior, their badass scenes supposed to be badass scenes. They are completely. When we compare the first and the second movie, this one is with the Terminator Genisys the worst, because and I heard that the producer was James Cameron, so it's even worse because James Cameron created the second Terminator, uh, and here we see that uh, this movie is completely mediocre, to the point that this movie is a bad movie, because everything here we saw better in first and in second Terminator. The plot is unlikely believable, or unbelievable. The actors almost play their roles, and they are not their characters. So you see that they are talking about something, but they are talking like they were on a scene plane. Like they were mm, like they were conducting their roles, and not being in those roles. So every scene of, for example, an unbelievable special effects in a plane, in a high altitude, with people not falling down and being able to do things which even the Terminators will be probably not able to do, and all these scenes are in a almost complete darkness, so you cannot see anything, because of course Arnold and Linda, they are rather old characters. In 2019 they were 70 something, so so yeah, so like. So this is almost the worst Terminator, because Genesis was a little bit better, because it's so changed the plot, because there the John Connor was a bad character, was influenced by Skynet, and he was a bad character. And here the movie is so mediocre, not very but not very also controversial, because well, the controversy was the killing of John Connor, but but it was a little bit of shock for us. But in Terminator Genesis, it was very controversial to change the good character to bad character, and here we have almost nothing, no controversial issues. No really believable scenes. Even the scenes with attacks, with Terminators, with shootings, with gunfire, with special effects, they are completely not believable. The characters play as they were on the scene, as they were on the director's scene, on the movie's scene, and they are doing what the director has ordered them to do. And I wonder why. Because I want to also summarize in a different YouTube movie about why the, the the Terminator movies after the second one was they were so bad that they are almost not watchable. For example, if you would watch this Terminator Dark Fate as a standalone movie, maybe you would give him a mediocre score. But because of the earlier Terminators and because of fans and fans are the most important base for next movie in the franchise. They are we see that they are completely out of touch with the climate, with the reality, and with the level of creativity and level of development of these earlier movies. Because right now, when we see the first and the second Terminator, we see that they are probably the best in their own class. They deserve 10 out of 10. First one was a thriller, almost horror, and second one was action movie film. But they were great in almost every scene. Every actor, even third party actors uh, like actors who are only there to be in 1, 2, 3 seconds, and they have maybe only a little small episodic role. They were far better than any actor in Genesis or in Dark Fate Terminators. It's completely unbelievable how movies in a way degraded from the 80s and the 90s. Here they are focused on dynamic, on special effects, on some plots or some thoughts that they are whack. They are completely fantastic. No normal humans would think about them in these circumstances, and here we have all of this, and they are completely uh, for example, this cybernetic woman, she needs to have some kind of energy review or reviewal, or taking some medicine because she has disadvantages in when she's, for example, very dynamic and fighting the Terminators. But this shows that this idea was completely not thought through, because it makes her very vulnerable for Terminators or even for humans. So even though she's enhanced and cybernetically can fight with the Terminator, her disadvantages are almost completely useless, because they are so powerful that she is useless as the protector of the new girl who's supposed to be a resistance leader. And this all twist that John Connor is not important, or he has been killed and another resistance leader has been chosen, is out of touch with first and second Terminators, when we understand that John Connor was not just a normal character who was fighting the Terminators. He was not just a normal general, leader, colonel, commander, and so on, to fight the Skynet. He was in a way, some way, we don't know what way, so special that he was unreplaceable. You cannot replace him with another leader. That's why they needed him to live, and they needed to sacrifice all their soldiers to his mission to succeed, to he being born, and then fighting the Skynet and creating the resistance. And here we see that, and the plot in the first and second Terminator was simple. There is a Terminator, and there is the victim, and that's all. We don't consider alternative futures, alternative pasts, other Terminators, different kind of Terminators, different ideas, different philosophical plots, and the Dark Fate, Genesis, and then an earlier Terminators, Rise of the Machines, third Terminator, and the fourth, with Christian Bale. mm, they twisted the simple story to the point that it is so complicated that most people don't understand it. Most people don't understand it, and because of that, they don't care about it. And here in first and in second, it was very important. There was only one Terminator at one time and one, let's say, protector. If he was a Terminator or if he was a human, and the main fight was in the future before this great war. The Great War was only a culmination of these bad decisions and bad thoughts of humans who wanted to create something which they couldn't control. But here we even don't care about this new resistance leader, because in first and in second Terminator we saw that we, for example, have seen the scenes from this future war, and we have seen that humans were losing all those wars. Even with John Connor, they were only barely surviving, and they could only fight with in darkness, guerrilla fights only, and Skynet robots were so almost unbreakable and almost unstoppable. So we see also that the risk and the stakes were to whole humanity as a whole. And here we just have a story. There is a Terminator, there is a Protector, there is another old woman Protector, there is another old Terminator who is now obsolete, and there is another girl, Latina, and she cannot be a leader, because in such situations, in war, in fighting war and conducting war, men are conducting wars. They are the strategists of the war, not the women. The women has different responsibilities, and here we even saw that when they were trying to learn her to shoot a gun, to shoot a shotgun, assault rifle, and so on, she was completely unbelievable. She would not survive a 1 minute when the nukes were falling to the United States and to the China and to the Russia. We saw in first and second Terminator that because of Sarah Connor in first Terminator, and we saw John Connor in second Terminator as an older guy and as a kid, that it was believable that there can be a one person, a one man who can probably in a way stop in some way or delay in some way Skynet and its machines. But this girl, this Latina Mexican girl, is completely not from this story, not from this fairy tale. Unfortunately, because it's also about immigration, illegal immigration, and so on. But the movie is almost like we don't see a Terminator movies right now. Even though they have entitled Terminator, they are completely from different world, from different universe, with characters playing their roles, but they are not acting as those characters, unfortunately. So I would say that this Terminator with Genisys Terminator is the epic failure of Terminator movies, because it's a standalone movie. It's a under under fifth out of 10 score, maybe like 4 out of 10. But as a Terminator movie, it's even worse. It's 2 3 out of 10, because the whole plots, the schemes, when at the beginning of the movie we see the different abilities of Rev 9, very cunning abilities, very powerful abilities, and at the end he didn't use them at all. He didn't use them to, for example, because in first scene he probably changed to a gun, and later he didn't use this very special ability who could be really useful and obliterate our heroes, because he could, for example, change in something completely not recognizable and defeat them in a cunning way, out of sight even. He didn't use these abilities in later scenes. So everything is also very unlogical and unbelievable. That, for example, our old Terminator, when he killed John Connor, he has created his own family. Wife didn't know that he's a robot. What's going on here? It's completely unbelievable. So now that he's right now a very simple, very old man, living this stoic life, and so on, and at the end he's sacrificing for this girl, for this Latina to live, for her to live, and he's saying for John. If he was fighting for John, he wouldn't have killed him in the first place. So now his words are completely empty, because the redemption was not there, because the plot is that at the end of the movie there is a redemption, that he understood his sin, his unmoral behavior, and now he has changed to protect this other human resistance leader. But the story is not there. The story of the redemption and of the penance is not there. So it's completely unbelievable. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about Terminator Dark Fate. Is it the worst movie in the series? Is it as bad as Genisys, as I think? Or maybe it's even worse, or maybe for some reasons it's better?